Story time of how I tried to run away and got caught. As you all know, I have extremely strict parents, and they basically went through my phone, caught me for a lot of things that they definitely shouldn't have seen. As a result, they basically took away everything in my life and threatened to cancel my enrollment at college. They took money out of my savings account, took my driving privileges away, took my ability to see my friends away, among a bunch of other things. Basically, I have nothing. I guess I was feeling so helpless, I decided to run away. So in the middle of the night, I packed a suitcase, packed all my shit, hand wrote a letter to my family just saying like, this is where I'll be, I'm safe, and I hopped on a flight to New York. I know that sounds crazy, but it's not illegal to travel as a minor. And I guess I thought that if I was transparent with my family about where I was, they would kind of let me just be away. But I was wrong. So I basically took my car and drove all the way to the airport, which is like 45 minutes away. Left at around 10 p.m. because my parents slept pretty early. And then I got to the airport and then literally chilled there until 6 a.m. in the morning. When I got on the plane at 6 a.m., they found out that my car was gone. So obviously they called me. They were kind of basically telling me to get off the plane. They can discuss, they can reevaluate my situation and blah, blah, blah. They won't be mad. But I did not believe that shit for a second. My parents are not very emotional people. They're not there to have a conversation about my feelings or anything like that. They're just kind of like, respect works one way. I think that's like a traditional Asian thing, but respect works one way. You listen to me and there's no other alternative. Knowing that information, obviously I did not get off the plane. I ended up like hanging up the phone, and obviously we went into the air and I traveled to Jersey. I got off the plane at Jersey. Obviously my messages started loading in. My parents had contacted everybody and like their mothers, like literally my friends' parents, my uncle that lives in New York, my grandma who lives in Malaysia. And I obviously had these paragraphs and paragraphs of angry texts from my dad, basically saying, if you want to do this, your phone is going to stop working. You're not using anything of mine anymore, blah, 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 blah. But that's like kind of the reaction I was expecting, and that's what I was wanting, to basically cut myself off. But then I get a call from the Jersey Police Department. They basically told me that they filed me as a missing person in the state that I'm from. So as police, like, they're required to do a welfare check on me. I obviously saw in the airport like these officers like walking around looking for somebody, and I just knew that it was me. So I went up to one and I was like, hey, like, I'm May, and they obviously had my information. Like, I ended up going to like this private room in the airport and talking to these two officers for like so many hours, like them trying to understand my situation but also lecturing me. So then they took me to the police department and detained me, and I basically had to talk to like social workers and more cops for like a few hours until my mom flew into Jersey to come get me and they could release me into her custody. And when my mom was there, she obviously wasn't really mad. She was kind of sad. And we ended up staying overnight at a hotel in Jersey and then taking the next flight back to home. Now that I'm home, my parents basically told me like I'm cut off. So I am low-key paying my own college tuition, but there's no other alternative because my dad told me he was gonna go call the university and cancel my enrollment. I really don't know like what's wrong with him. He's like calling up my friends' parents to like say what we did and stuff like that. Don't even ask me like what's going on in my life.
So we all know I don't have the best track record when it comes to dating, but I'm going to tell you my most embarrassing first date story while I get ready for work right now. So it all started on Hinge, which I'm now banned from, but that's a story for a different time. So basically what happened was I matched with this dude who was really, really, really hot. I'm not going to use his real name, so we're going to call him Kyle. Kyle and I talked for a little bit over Hinge, and then I got his number and we talked a lot over text. After a few days of texting, he decided to ask me out on a first date, and I was so excited. So he originally wanted to pick me up, and I was like, no, because this is my first time meeting you, I don't want to do that. So I told him I would meet him there at the location. So I pull up and I see this 6'7" man. He's so beautiful, he's tatted, he's a basketball player. He was like genuinely the hottest man I've seen in so long. We sit down, we have a meal, we have some drinks, and it's going really, really good so far. He starts telling me about how like he has a single mom and he really adores his mother, which is why he treats women with so much respect. Like, I was ready for him to propose right then and there at this first date, and I would have said yes. So after we finished eating, he was like, let's continue this date and let's go see a movie or something. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so down. But because I decided to meet him there, we drove separately. So I was just like, I'll just follow you to the movie theater. And now this is when things start to go downhill. Basically, he gets to the movie theater first and he parks his car, and then he's like standing outside of his car watching me try to find parking. I go to park and I'm like reversing into the spot, and I just ram into this pole. Like, my car is fucked. I literally hit the pole so so hard. There's dents, there's scratches all over, while this beautiful, sexy man is sitting there watching this whole thing go down. I was literally mortified. But if that wasn't bad enough for you guys, don't worry, it gets worse. So basically the day ends, everything is going great, until all of a sudden I get a DM from this girl being like, hey, how do you know this guy Kyle? Right then and there, I should have known. They didn't follow each other on Instagram. They didn't like each other's pictures. They had no comments together. Like, literally, there was no trace of him on her Instagram or her on his Instagram. But because I'm a good person, I decided to answer this girl, and I was like, I met him on Hinge. Like, why? She starts freaking out on me, saying that they've been dating for 6 years. After she tells me that, she starts asking me for proof. I was like, yeah, we went on 1 date. So then I go to text Kyle and I'm like, hey, what the hell is this about? Do you have a girlfriend? He basically tells me that that's his crazy ex and they have each other blocked on everything and she's literally insane and not to listen to her and da 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 da. At the same time, she's sending me screenshots of them texting the same day that we went on the date. And then she starts sending me text messages of her texting Kyle now as we are texting. And he's basically saying he doesn't know me, I'm just a fangirl, he has no idea who I am, I'm not even his type, all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, she starts going off on me. She starts calling me a fangirl, saying that I'm fangirling over him. I never actually met him. I never actually went out on a date with him. And I'm making up all these stories just to try and get clout off of him and all this crazy stuff. I wasn't even responding to her because if you know me, you know I don't do conflict well. So I was just like, this girl is crazy. She needs to chill out. This sweet man who talked about how much he respects women is sitting there texting her saying I'm ugly, I'm not his type. She's literally harassing me on Instagram and he's just like letting it happen. And the craziest part was that he was texting me saying that she's crazy to stop texting her. She's crazy, they're not together, while he's texting her the same exact shit. So after that, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna block everyone in this situation. And basically, that was the story of how I lost the love of my life.
Okay, let's get ready while I tell you about my proposal. So I'm currently on vacation in Kauai and I'm here with my best friend McKenna, her boyfriend, and then I guess my fiance now. And this was supposed to be just like a fun like couples trip, and then we were also kind of celebrating McKenna graduating from college. We got here on a Monday and then on Tuesday we had dinner reservations and McKenna really wanted us to get sunset pictures. A lot of people were asking me whether or not I knew he was gonna do it. I had a feeling it was gonna be this year just because I feel like I'm graduated now and we were like settled and I just felt like it was gonna happen soon. But then one day he was trying to show me this funny voicemail that someone left him, but he clicked the wrong voicemail message and it started playing a voicemail from someone at Kay's Jewelers, and he like stopped it really quick and was like, oh, that's the wrong one. So I had a feeling that he had gotten the ring, and that was like a month or so before Hawaii. So then I started to think that like Hawaii would be a perfect place for him to do it. So in the back of my head, I thought that he could do it here, but I didn't know for sure. Anyways, flash forward to Tuesday on the trip. During the day, he kept asking me what my good side was, which to me, I felt like kind of gave it away, but he's like really oblivious with those things. He always thinks he's being like way sneakier than he is. So I'm like, why is this guy so interested in what my good side is? And then when it was time to get ready for dinner, he started like really freaking out about his hair, which he never does. So I was kind of like, maybe that's why we're taking sunset photos. So then we started driving to the place, and guys, it was pouring down rain. I didn't know this, but McKenna actually had a photographer waiting at the beach. So there was no like changing of plans. Like Mackie knew that she had to get me on that beach within like the set time. We finally got to the beach. I was literally shaking. I was so cold because it was raining. But then we make it down to the beach. Again, it's still raining, and Zach and me start taking a couple photos. And then mind you, I was already on my good side because I was taking photos, but he grabs me and he turns me to my other side, like on my bad side, and he said, I have an idea for a photo. In that moment, I obviously knew what it was. So I said, oh, on my bad side? Then he like spins me back around to my good side, and then he's like, I have an idea for a photo. And he bends down and proposes to me. And obviously it was the best thing ever. He did great. He did open the ring box and it was upside down, so the ring was like hanging from the top. But to me, that just made it even better because that's like such a him thing to do, and we were laughing about it. Everyone on the beach is cheering. There's literally someone like surfing the waves and like cheering for us, which was so cool. It was like not that many people on the beach, like maybe like 5 or so. And then I start seeing this couple run up with their cameras and take photos of us. In my head, I was just thinking like, oh, that's so sweet of them to like capture the moment. Like they just so happen to have cameras out. But turns out that was actually the photographers that my friend had hired. So then that led us into like an hour-long engagement shoot, which it was pouring down rain the entire time, and I was wearing a white top. So I did get some of the pictures back and they are really cute. So hopefully I can share those soon. Even though it was raining, I feel like it just kind of made it better and was very like us. We had like our notebook moment, like kissing in the rain. So I had like an inkling of an idea, but I didn't know it was happening then. And yeah, that's it. I am gonna go enjoy my last final day in Kauai. I just wanted to share the story with y'all, obviously. Bye.
Get rid of me while I tell y'all how me and my man at the time flew to Orlando, and he was gonna ask me to be his girlfriend over New Year's Eve, and then I ended up leaving early and coming home single as shit. We haven't done a story time in a long time, and this is a good one. This is a good one, so buckle up. Okay, so backstory. This was not this past New Year's, but the New Year's before. So I had a man. He did not live, we did long distance. He was with me the entire month of December. He basically went home with me for Christmas and spent the entire month of December with me in Michigan. And then the plan was we were gonna fly after we spent Christmas with my family. We were gonna fly from Michigan to Orlando to spend New Year's, and all of our friends were meeting up in Orlando to celebrate New Year's Eve together. At this time, he had been my man for like 5 months, and we had discussed becoming boyfriend and girlfriend, and he was like, I just wanna ask you in like a cool way, and like it was in the works, but honestly, I had no idea that he had planned on doing it on this trip. We were going to Orlando to meet up with all of our friends, right? So the friend that we were all staying at her house, she was one of my best friends at the time. So he had hit her up and was like, hey, like I want to do something cool for Brittany to ask her to be my girlfriend. Like these are my thoughts and ideas. So he basically was going to decorate our entire guest room in her home, and it was going to be like Pinterest, you guys. Like everything that I have ever wanted and asked a man to do that they have never done, he was gonna do. And he had reached out to her and was like, has a man ever done this to her? And she was like, do you know any of her exes? Like, absolutely not. And so he was going to do like the will you be my girlfriend balloons on the back wall. There was balloons all over like the ceiling, and then there was pictures of us like hanging from the balloons, right? And she had texted me earlier that month and was like, hey, I'm doing Christmas presents, do you prefer like red or yellow, or red or pink? And I said pink, and it was for a gift, but it was really for the theme of the room, I believe. So she is a florist, kind of like she does it on the side because she's really, really good at it. So she went and got these huge bouquets of pink roses, like 50 to 100 roses, right? And there was multiple of them, and they were wrapped in pink Christian Dior paper. So I'm talking like they went all out for this like room decor surprise that I have no idea is even happening. So the entire month of December, he had told me he was actually planning this since Thanksgiving because he wanted to do it over Thanksgiving, but then he was like, I'd rather do it over New Year's because everyone will be there and I want everyone to witness it. So he like, all my friends were flying to Orlando, so he was like, I want y'all to be there so we can like kind of all surprise her at the same time. One of our friends is a full-time videographer, so he had cameras set up in the room from literally every single angle, and it was gonna be like this huge surprise. So let's talk about how this literally fell through and the surprise ended up being canceled. He removed all the decor before we even got there, and like, yeah. So I'm in Michigan for the entire month of December. I am not gonna lie, you guys, this is pre-TikTok days, okay? I was just like down and out. I was going through like a weird transition in my life. I had just stopped being a sports reporter at the time. My best friend in the whole world that also lived with me in Dallas told me days before going home for Christmas that she got a job and she's moving. And because I was going to be gone for the entire month, by the time I got home, she was no longer going to be in the apartment. And then I had to deal with like figuring out who was going to pay her portion of the rent. And like, I was just a literal ball of stress, and it was just horrible. So I'm going through like a lot of my own personal things, right? So this poor man is trying to do everything he can do to help me, and when I am stressed out, like no one can help me. I just want to be in it and do it on my own. Obviously a very independent person. So when he was trying to help me, he was just literally making things worse, but he wasn't trying to. That's just how it came off to me. There was already some like red flags in the relationship, but nothing that was too bad because I've honestly been in some horrifying relationships before. But we had issues of like, he didn't like, he came from a different culture. So he didn't like me wearing skirts. He didn't like me having my legs out. He was very big on like me dressing a certain way. I already don't dress really like that. I'm a huge tomboy, so I don't really dress like provocatively. And then also he was big on like, he didn't want me posting on my Instagram story for men to look at, and he didn't want me posting in my bathing suit. So obviously that was a problem because I travel all of the time and I post in my bikini. But I feel like there's different ways to post in your bikini on the internet, and I'm like very subtle, just like, hey, I'm on vacation. I'm not like sitting there on the beach like trying to pose like anything crazy. I don't think anyway. So we had some differences when it came to that, but overall we had a pretty like stand-up relationship. So anyway, outside of those red flags, like nothing really bad other than the fact that I was literally going through it in my life, and I just like didn't know what to do. And when I don't know what to do, I like freak out and I break down and I like shut everybody out. So I cannot keep my mouth shut. And literally my best friend at the time, he literally told me to keep my mouth shut until I got home from New Year's, and told me to like see it through, because I was literally calling and texting my best friend every single day because he lives in Dallas. And I was like, bro, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know if I don't like him anymore. I don't know like what's going on. I just have a lot going on in my life. And he was like, see it through until you get home for New Year's. And I did not listen to him. So the day before we're supposed to leave and go to Orlando, I like tell him I need to talk to him, because remind you guys, we are in Michigan with my family for Christmas, and like we're clearly not getting along. Me and my family just spent hundreds of dollars on him for Christmas to make sure he had a good Christmas, but like we're just not vibing. So I tell him, I'm like, hey, like we need to talk. Like I don't know if I can continue like on with this relationship. Like this is just too much for me right now with everything that I have going on in my life. And maybe like we should just stop what we're doing until like further notice. So he was like, well, we already booked everything for Orlando. Should we just go to Orlando like as friends? And honestly, I was like, yeah, like all of our friends are already going to be there. So like, let's still just go. Another big issue of why I stopped, like why I wanted to stop dating him, or I mean, I guess talking to him, because we were in the talking stage, was the whole time that he was in Michigan with me, he was on his phone non-freaking stop, and he was constantly texting, but like being secretive about it. And I was like, bro, what is going on? Well, later I find out that he's messaging my best friend back and forth in Orlando because they're trying to figure out how they're going to decorate the room. But I didn't know that. So I'm just like, bro, like you're texting 24/7. I'm right here. So I don't know why you need to be on your phone. And I'm just like, I'm not vibing with this. So I feel like we should just stop. So we're on our way to the airport. He is still nonstop on his phone. So basically what I find out later is my best friend tries to convince him to not cancel, because he's basically texting my friend nonstop and being like, you need to cancel, take everything down. Like we're on our way to Orlando. We're on our way to the airport. Take everything down from the room. And she was like, no, like, let's just still ask her, like, maybe she'll say yes. And he was like, no, if she's already questioning it, like, I'm not going to do it. Take everything down. Okay, so we get to Orlando. Everyone's acting weird as heck. Like, I'm talking, everyone is, like, staring. I don't know what's going on. Like, everyone's acting so freaking weird. And then on top of that, you guys, on the way to Orlando, or, like, basically the night before we left, I got pink eye. So I'm like, how am I going to go to the club on New Year's Eve with pink eye? I go to the med center the next morning. So I'm in Orlando. I'm like, I'm going to go to the med center and get like the pink eye medication. I ended up wearing glasses to the club. That's a whole nother story. So my little brother gets into the car with me and he's like, I'm going to go with you to the pharmacy so you can get your medicine. And we get in the car and he was like, what the heck is going on? And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, he had this like whole surprised like room for you and everything was supposed to be decorated. And he literally called us late last night and told us to take it all down. I had literally no idea, and I start bawling, crying. Go to part 2. Okay, part 2 about how I went to Orlando with my man, and then he was gonna ask me to be his girlfriend, decorated the whole room like a Pinterest board, and ended up not asking me, taking everything down, and I went home single. So, okay, my little brother, we're on our way to the pharmacy to get the medication for the pink eye, and I literally start bawling my eyes out because I had no idea that he was planning all this. I had no idea. So I'm literally running everything back in my head. And I'm like, oh my God, that's why he was on his phone. He was on his phone because he was talking to my best friend about the room. That's why he was being so weird and being so secretive, because he was decorating like a room and gonna ask me to be his girlfriend. You guys, I have such trauma and like PTSD from men in my past, specifically like in college, that when you're secretive to me and you like don't want to show me your phone, I don't look through a man's phone anyway. Like, I'm just not that type of girl. But I can tell if you're being secretive with like around me with your phone. If that shit is weird, like, I'm not gonna fight you. I'm not gonna fight you. I'm going to leave you. Like, okay, cool. If you want to do that, you're a grown ass man. I'm not going to tell you what to and what to not to do. You're a grown ass man. You're not my child. So I'm like, I left. I was like, you're acting weird. You're acting shady. I'm not going to argue with you about not cheating on me and all of these things. So I'm leaving. Well, it ended up being, he was actually just calling my best friend and texting my best friend, making sure that all of this went through. So I get home from the pharmacy. Y'all, I'm a freaking wreck. I go up to this room. I'm bawling my eyes out, crying. This is New Year's Eve. It's during the day now. And he comes into the room and he's like, hey, like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm not okay. Like, why wouldn't you tell me you were doing that? Like, you low-key set me up to fail. And he was like, well, you had said how you felt, so there was really like nothing else I could do. I wasn't going to force you to like be my girlfriend when you just told me 2 days ago that you don't want to be my girlfriend. And like, why would I do this huge surprise for you if that's the way that you felt? Which he had a very valid point at the time. But at that current moment, I was just so upset that I didn't get the surprise, because like I had been hoping and dreaming for that surprise since I was like a little girl. I've always seen it like on social media, on Pinterest, and I'm like, dang, like someone would decorate a room for me like that. That would be insane. And so I just felt like shit. Like, I felt so bad because I totally read the room wrong. He was a good guy. He was a great guy. I knew that. So I don't know why I thought he was cheating on me. Again, like PTSD, like I came from Iraq. And I just like, I totally read the room wrong and ruined it. But God's blessing, because we would have never worked out anyway due to like the red flags that I had seen before. Like later on, we ended up being really good friends, and like we just would have never worked out in real life. So it was a blessing in disguise. Like God really was like, I'm gonna make this one hurt, but I'm so sorry, like you cannot date this man. And that was for the better. You know, I think he would say the same. Like, we're friends to this day, and we just would have never worked out as a couple. But anyway, so I'm like, oh my God, I'm over it. He's over it. We go to New Year's Eve. We're in the section. We're barely speaking to each other. Men are trying to holler at me. I feel uncomfortable because he's right there. I don't know what to do, like such an uncomfortable experience. So this was before my I'm not going to drink anymore phase. So I ended up just drinking to deal with it, which is just a terrible idea. And then the very next day, we had both agreed we were going to leave early. Like, he was like, there's no reason for me to be here. And I'm like, yeah, there's no reason for me to be here either. I was mortified. I did not want to be there. I was not obviously having a good time. So I literally ended up calling my best friend at the time, same guy that I was like calling beforehand, and he was like, just hold out until the new year or whatever. So he was an NFL player. So obviously like, well-to-do guy, right? So one of my best friends at the time literally would have done anything for me at that time. So I call him and I'm crying. I'm like, bro, I don't want to be here anymore. I feel so uncomfortable. I don't want to do this. Like, please I want to come home. And like I said, he would have done anything for me. So he literally booked me a flight that day. sent me the confirmation and was like, here's your flight, your bags are checked, literally just come home, like, you're done with that, we don't need to go back to that anymore. So got on the next flight out of Orlando and came back to Dallas on this day after New Year's Day, I think. And yeah, single as a Pringle, was supposed to come home a wife, basically, girlfriend. Was supposed to come home a girlfriend. I get home, I had an 8 the whole time I was in Orlando because I felt sick. My roommate, my best friend who was leaving, she was actually not gone yet. And she comes up the stairs and she had known about the surprise, but she didn't know that the surprise failed. So she gets home and she was like, hey, like, how is it? How is he? How is everything? And like, oh my God, were you so surprised? And then she looks at me and she's like, why do you look sick? And I'm like, I haven't ate in 4 days. And she's like, why? And I'm like, the surprise didn't happen. Like, he canceled it. That's not my boyfriend. We actually don't speak anymore. And we hate each other at the moment. And she was like, no. And I'm like, yep. And that was that. It was the most insane thing. I am usually very right about a situation. And in that particular instance, I was very wrong. Again, I think that it was just a lot of trauma of men cheating on me in college. And, you know, my boyfriend from college, y'all know him. Y'all know about him. And I just really thought that he was doing something that he wasn't supposed to be doing. And I wasn't going to be the one to tell him not to do something. And so the whole time that I thought that he was like talking to other girls or cheating on me while we were in Michigan with my family, he was actually just setting up a really cool will you be my girlfriend room with my best friend. And yeah, so obviously you read the room wrong. And then like my dumb ass, because I can't let shit go because I'm a Pisces, tried to be with him like after, and I just was like, it's okay, like we can work through this. And he was like, absolutely not, we cannot. And I was like, well, what do you mean? Like, we like each other. Obviously that hasn't changed. So we can like, you know, salvage the issue. And he was like, no, like, I don't want to salvage the issue. I think what's done is done. Like, I was going to ask you last week to be my girlfriend. Now I'm probably never going to ask you. And you traumatized me. So I just think that we should be done. And that was that. That was the closest I have come to a boyfriend in a very long time. And I literally ruined it myself. But like I said, it was a blessing in disguise because he's a great guy. But for me, there were some red flags that I just wasn't willing to get over. And nothing bad to say about him. We're actually good friends to this day, like I said. But it just wouldn't have worked out. And I think he could say the same. He looks at me today and he's like, we would have never worked out. And I'm like, yeah, I know we wouldn't have. So it was a blessing, but that one hurt a little bit. And I still haven't gotten the decor room of my dreams. So I'm still waiting on that. But yeah, that is the story on how I was supposed to literally go and spend time with my man for New Year's Eve and become a girlfriend. And I literally left single as shit. Yeah. Don't make judgment calls. If you don't know something, ask. And don't think your man's always cheating on you, even though I think they are. This particular one was not. So don't judge a book by its cover, I guess. I don't know.
Get ready with me while I tell you about how I was cheated on for 9 months. I'm gonna condense this story so much and leave out so many details because honestly, this could be a podcast episode. So it all started when I was 16 years old. I met this guy and we started talking and everything was super normal at first. He was super good. But honestly, I was going through a really difficult time in my life. My parents had just kind of gotten divorced. My family was falling apart. Like, I had a ton of issues like that I was going through. And honestly, I just feel like he kind of took advantage of me while I was at my lowest. The first 4 months were fine, I would say. And then he kind of started getting a little bit crazy. He never wanted to meet my friends. He didn't want to take me to his prom. He was lying to me about a lot of stuff. And I don't know, vibes were just kind of weird. He, like, didn't really like a lot of things about me and, like, really wanted me to change myself, like, to fit into, like, his narrative. The first year we were together, he wouldn't get me anything for my birthday. He wouldn't spend Valentine's Day with me. He was just, like, honestly not a good boyfriend. But, again, I was going through a really hard time in my life, and his family kind of became like my rock, so I kind of was just like sticking it out because like I was super close with everybody. We're together from my junior to senior year in high school. Honestly, like, things are fine. We fight a lot, but like it's fine, I guess. Then as we're about to go off to college, he wanted to go to college in Chicago and I was going to college in Tampa. I wanted to break up because I kind of wanted to like get the college experience, not really going to college with a long distance boyfriend. And honestly, I had already kind of thought he had cheated on me, so I assumed that he was going to cheat on me again. So we go to college, and literally in the first week, it's just so bad. Like, not answering me, going to like girls' apartments, going out all hours of the night. It was my birthday the first week of college, treated me like crap on my birthday. He hated that I was going through sorority recruitment. He thought I was like a sellout. I have this crazy intuition. If you know me and are close with me, I will have like dreams or thoughts about things happening, and then they will happen like the day after or shortly after. I don't know if it's woman intuition. I don't know if I'm just literally crazy. I have no idea. One night, I literally wake up out of my sleep, literally bawling, crying, and I text him. I'm like, are you okay? What's going on? Something's going on. I literally could just like feel it in my bones. He's like, yeah, everything's fine. Like, love you. Go back to bed. Like, blah, blah, blah. The next day we're on FaceTime. He's being so weird. I'm like, something fucking is going on. He calls me literally bawling, crying, like 2 days after, and he's like, I cheated on you, blah, blah, blah. He tried to lie about the way he cheated on me, which now obviously I know wasn't a lie. Again, I'm not going to give details, but he kind of made himself out to be like a victim. I freaked out. I had a plane ticket to go fly and see him like the week after he cheated on me, so like I made him Venmo me for my plane ticket. I like literally bugged the freak out on him. And then whatever, he was like, it was a mistake, blah, blah, blah. It didn't mean to happen. Like, please, I'll do anything. He was sending me love letters. He was sending me flowers. He was crying all the time. He was calling me. Like, he was just like freaking out. So then we go home for like a break in October, and I see him and he's like, please get back together with me. I love you, blah, blah, blah. I'm dumb, so I fall for it. We get back together. I visit him in Chicago. Again, he's just like an asshole to me, whatever. We go through all of my freshman year being together. The summer of my freshman year, going into my sophomore year of college, oh my God, it was so awful. He hated me our entire relationship, and I think I just like never knew it. But that whole summer was terrible, and I remember in August I was at his house and he was sitting on the couch ignoring me. So his mom took me to go get food with her, and she literally was like, you don't deserve this, like honestly, like this is ridiculous. And she left to go do something, and I walked back into the house and I was like, I'm breaking up with you. You treat me terribly. So I break up with him, and then I go back to college. Again, my birthday is at the beginning of the semester. It's the end of August. He calls me on my birthday, sends flowers to my apartment, is sending me gifts. Emma, I love you so much. I need you back. Like, you are the love of my life. This man was putting in the work to get back together with me. Like, literally the fucking work. Again, you guys, I am stupid, and I was falling for it. So we were still talking every day. We were having like FaceTime sleepovers, like literally like planning like our marriage and our children and like blah, blah, blah. Again, so stupid. We go home for Thanksgiving. He is crying in my bed. I can't lose you. I will do anything, literally saying the most like down bad, pathetic things that a man should never say. I'm low-key gonna skip over the next part of the story because this is like actually like where the villain, really awful things that he did came in. But basically something happened. You guys literally can just scroll and figure out what happened to me. And basically got blamed for everything. And I later found out that he used the thing that happened to me as an excuse to his other girlfriend on why he was still talking to me.
This happened to Emma. She has nobody else. Her family isn't really around, and I just have to be there for her. I have to be there for her. She has nobody else.
When our break happens, I literally am living at his parents' house. I spend Thanksgiving with them. I spend Christmas with them. I spend New Year's with them. Literally, just like we are together, spending every holiday together, spending the holidays with his family, with his grandparents, literally skipping out on my family holidays for this man. Keep in mind, this whole time I was low-key sus of him. There was like this one girl that I was just like really kind of sus of, and I actually ended up DMing her like around Thanksgiving, and yeah, like basically she was like, yeah, it's like nothing's going on, like whatever. We leave to go back to school, and I remember just like crying my eyes out when he was leaving, because honestly I just kind of knew that like we were like never gonna see each other again. Like I don't know why, but again, I just had this crazy intuition. January goes along. He's literally like, blah blah blah, you're the love of my life. If you sleep with anybody else, I will literally kill you. Like FaceTime sleepovers, you've called the whole gist. You guys already know. This is just keeps repeating itself. One day, again, I couldn't sleep, and I go to my DM request on Instagram, and literally 3 minutes before I did that, I had gotten a DM from this girl. We're gonna call her Becca. Becca DM'd me and said, hey, are you with his name? We're gonna call him James. Hey, are you and James together? I respond with, yeah, like kinda, why? She calls me on the phone. She tells me that they have been together since like 3 days before my birthday. Like she literally tells me the exact date that they had like first like hung out. We three-way call this motherfucker. He is such a fucking dick. I literally, oh my god, like he is literally insane. I call his mom. I tell him he is addicted to blank. I'm like, fuck him. I don't even care. Like, I'm literally gonna ruin your life now. Becca is like, yeah, telling me all this stuff he said about me. Like, literally, he just, like, lied on my name about everything. Told this girl that the only reason he still talks to me is because he feels bad for me and I have nobody in my life and, like, I don't have a relationship with my parents. Which is not true, by the way, obviously. I block him on everything, and he keeps making fake numbers to text me. Like, literally, he would make a fake number, text me, beg for me back. Then I'd block that number. He'd make another fake number, text me, beg for me back, call me, send me paragraphs. Like, literally, he was insane. Me and the girl literally, like, ended up, like, comparing text messages. He would text us the exact same things. Like, he had just moved into this new house. He sent us the exact same video. He would wear my clothes around her, her clothes around me, vice versa. I had a stuffed animal named Tortuga that I gave to him when he went to college. Tortuga literally was on his bed, and he lied to her about Tortuga. And, like, they would, like, well, my stuffed animal was on his bed. The first time he told her that he loved her was when I was sleeping next to him on New Year's Eve. He would send us the exact same TikToks, literally the same, like, Instagram memes. Then one day I had a dream that the two of them got back together, so I texted her and I said, hey, are you guys back together? Spoiler alert, they were, and they still are together to this day, I think. I don't know, I haven't really checked up on them. He literally was still texting me, like, basically while they were back together, begging for me back. Having one significant other is so draining enough. I don't know how he had two. Anyways, yeah, that's where my villain origin story started. Thank you, James, for ruining my life.
You won't become friends with a girl who has 0 friends, and all she does is talk shit about her old friend group and her ex-best friend, because I promise you, you will find out why she has no friends. This video, we're gonna call her Underboob because that's all she posts on her TikTok and Visco. But basically, I'm from Calgary, she's a girl from Calgary, she was an online friend. This is why meeting friends off social media can either be a hit or a miss, because I hung out with her once and I realized she's crazy. The worst part is that I was friends with one of her ex-best friends, and Underboob basically brainwashed me to think that the other girl was like crazy, not a good friend, wouldn't be a good friend. So I basically cut that girl off, And then I realized that underboob was the crazy one. A couple months ago, I was back in Calgary and I was going out with my best friend. So I decided to invite underboob because she said she wanted to hang out when I was back in Calgary. She offered to drive, so she comes to my friend's apartment to pick us up. I was drinking a little because pre-game, I don't really drink that often, but my best friend made us mojitos, so yeah, my face got a little bit red. Literally the first thing this girl says, this is my first time meeting her, like 5 seconds after saying, "Oh my god, it's so nice to meet you," she literally goes, "Oh wow, your face does get red." I literally turned to my best friend because that's like one of my biggest insecurities, and she's like, "Oh no, like don't worry, it's not that bad, like it just looks like blush." If you're new here, my type is a sexy black light-skinned man, and my best friend was like, "Yeah, we have to go to this one club because that's where they're at." I was like, perfect, like I literally never go out, so I have no idea where to go. So we get there and it's like we were early, so it wasn't really that exciting. Underboob moved us to another club because she was not having a good time, I guess. And basically the entire night we were just going to different clubs and she was trying to find her friends, which like I really did not know that that was our plan, was her trying to meet up with her friends. So we finally get to this rooftop bar, I think it was Craft or National, and she finds her friends. And this girl doesn't even introduce us. We're just standing there. I feel bad. These people probably thought we were just like creeps, like following her, because she literally did not introduce us to her friends. Any normal person would be like, "Oh, I'm here with Josie and Casey, like I just met them tonight, we're going out, like blah blah blah." This girl is definitely the type to choose guys over her friends because the way that she booked it to her guy friends and the guy that she was talking to and literally just forgot that she had came with us was actually crazy. I was not having a good night, so me and my best friend decided to Uber home early, and this was the most awkward part because I was like, "Oh, I think me and Casey are gonna go home," and she was like, "Okay," and I had to be the one to initiate. I was like, "Oh my god, it was so nice to meet you," and gave her a goodbye hug. But like if I didn't do that, she was just gonna be like, "Okay, bye." Like Underboob had posted a picture with me and my best friend on her Snapchat story, and literally on the Uber home, I'm checking my DMs and her ex-boyfriend is in my DMs. So I screenshot it and I sent it to her. I was like, "What is he doing here? Like, I don't even know how he found my Instagram." And she's like, "Oh yeah, like he DM'd all my friends tonight." I was like, huh? She was supposed to be our driver home, but she was very intoxicated and she wanted to leave with a man. So yeah, after meeting her that one time, I really realized that she was not my type of vibe, so I kind of just stopped talking to her. But the other day she unadded me off Snapchat, so I unfollowed her on Instagram. I feel like that's the normal thing to do. Then go onto my phone and I see a DM. It's like, "Girl, not you unfollowing me. You literally unadded me on Snapchat. Like, why are you being so dramatic? You made the move first." I could only see the preview of the DM, so I go to click on it and she blocked me, which I just thought was funny because this girl is like known for just going through friends. Clearly, she needs to work on herself. She's the girl that will choose a guy over you in seconds and needs the male validation clearly because she just abandoned us when we went out with her. Is it just me, or is it weird that this girl would go through my following and follow random people that she does not know that are like my friends? And some of them, like, I have not even ever met. They live in a different country. We're online friends off TikTok, and I know that she is going through my following and finding these people because, like, there's no way this girl could have known them. I just thought that was really weird. I was like, "Girl, you really need friends that badly?" I'm honestly really glad that she blocked me because I was able to rekindle my friendship with the girl that that Underboob basically brainwashed me about, because I know that that girl is a good person, and now we can just bond over our trauma of having to be friends with this girl. I'm a little bit scared about what Underboob might be talking shit about me now to other people because that's what she did to me about my other friends. But you know what? I don't think she has anybody to talk shit to. She's running out of people. She also doesn't see a problem with talking to a man with a girlfriend because she thinks that she's better than everyone else. But I'm gonna let her get her karma one day for that. At the end of the day, you get to choose who you're friends with and who is in your circle. So just be careful because people are not always how they seem on social media. And it's really scary when you meet these people and, like, obviously they can be very manipulative, but you just won't kiki with everybody. But I'm glad that I was able to rekindle with my old friends. So I guess this worked out for the best. This girl needs to leave Calgary because I don't think anyone there likes you.
Story time on how me and my ex-best friend aren't friends anymore. You might want to grab a snack and sit down because this is going to be a lot. By the way, this is no hate whatsoever towards her. I do hope for the best for her. Just for some background, this has happened before in our friendship. A situation kind of like this that caused a huge breakup before. Also, she does go to a different school than me. She goes to my sister's school. She's like a grade younger. Anyway, so starting off, our whole friendship was like sideways. There was always something going on. Certain situations like friendships, boyfriends, school, anything like that, it was always, you know. In the past, she has broken up me and my ex-boyfriend out of a whole lie, and it was just a really big situation. I mean, in the end, we did break up. And throughout that period of time, she hated him. She didn't like me being with him. She would get upset if I hung out with him, even though I spent literally every single weekend with her. She just broke us up because she didn't want us together. So that should give you a little bit of background on this situation. So this starts off and I'm sitting in class. I get a phone call from this girl and she's telling me, "Did you see this account?" I was absolutely confused. I was like, "What account are you talking about?" She told me, you know, the secret account that Rain has. Rain is the code name for my ex-best friend. I was like, "Absolutely not. Let me see this account." So she shows me it, and mind you, there's a whole bunch of girls by this girl and they're all like talking about it. So she shows me it and it's literally a whole bunch of videos about me. And the videos are a whole bunch of lies. And majority of those videos are based on me and my current boyfriend. Mind you, she'd always tell me, "I hate your current boyfriend," and she'd sit there and make fun of him and say all these things about him when she knew I didn't feel comfortable with that and I didn't like it one bit. She just thought it was a big joke and she could say whatever she wants because she was my best friend at the time. Anyways, it was a whole bunch of videos bashing me, a whole bunch of lies. It was misleading lies about me personally and me and my boyfriend. And the whole reason for these videos was to get a hint of fame. You know how people make those accounts, those secret accounts, and try to blow up on them? That's exactly what she did, yet she used me, her best friend, to slander for fame. As I was looking through these, I'm not kidding you, my heart dropped and I started bawling. I was so confused on what this was even for. I was so confused because there was nothing going on at all. The entire time she was secretly having an account locked me and everybody that's related towards me, like friends, family, blocked. And she's sitting here bashing me for fame. And I just like to point out, at the time, she was slowly replacing me with a girl that she would talk insane things about. Like this girl, she would always be talking bad about her, and I didn't know it yet that she was replacing me until later on. Anyways, after I see all those videos, my first resort was to text her. So I sent her a really big paragraph and I made it the most respectful as possible. And I was heartbroken. I was devastated because my best friend of almost 3 years is sitting on social media bashing me for fame and making a whole bunch of lies about me just for fame. So when I texted her, she responded hours later, ignoring the whole paragraph and saying, "Yeah, we can talk later." We never talked later. And it's been weeks. And after I did send her that paragraph, I did notice she made another video about me. I was just so lost. I was confused on what I did in the first place. I did absolutely nothing but be there for her and comfort her, and I was a really good friend to her. And behind my back, she's sitting here and doing all of this. She has chosen her boyfriend and this girl that she was replacing me with, and I didn't think much of it. So weeks go by and she's still talking bad about me, which I still have no idea for what reason. And meanwhile, during that time, her boyfriend is sitting there bullying my little sister at school. And on the lines of that, the girl that she was replacing me with the entire friendship, as soon as we stopped being friends, they were immediately best friends. They were together 24/7, doing the exact same things that me and her would do. So it shows how easily replaced I was. I don't know if this whole thing is based off of jealousy or what. I honestly am still confused to this day. I have no idea what caused this or what has happened. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. I love you guys so much. Bye.
What would you do if you just found out your best friend of 5 years was stealing from you? Because I just found out that my best friend of 5 years was stealing from me, and I honestly don't know what to do. So let's rewind and start from the beginning because this is actually insane to me, and that is why I haven't posted in about 5 days, because I have been dealing with this drama for the same amount of time that I haven't been posting. Dude, we're gonna call this girl Bella. Wait, I actually have 2 really good friends named Bella who didn't do this, so we're gonna call this girl Stacy. So also excuse the chocolate on my face. I literally just had pie bowls, but I have been friends with Stacy since, like I said, 5 years. So I've been friends with her since 8th grade. So me and Stella became really close really quick. We don't go to the same school or anything, but we met through mutual friends and we have been really good friends, or so I thought, ever since. Me and this girl, like, we have been friends, and like I was always there for her. Like, I haven't been anything but a good friend to this girl. Like, I'm always there for her. Like, anytime she ever needed me to spot her on something, like I was always there. Like, literally just always there for her. And like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys like she never did anything for me, but, and like, this isn't a comparison because we're friends and I didn't expect her to ever like do anything back. Like, I did stuff not expecting anything in return, but I did start to notice that every time I did do something for her or like spot her, like even like $1, she would never say thank you or anything. She would take it as if I should be the one like paying for her and all that stuff. And there are so many stories about this girl. Like, one time we were both getting something to eat and she's the one who planned like the dinner and everything, and she reserved a spot. But once we got there, she claimed that she had forgot her wallet, and I remember seeing it in her car because she picked me up and took me there because she's the one who planned the date and everything, and I didn't have my license at that point. And I remember telling her like, oh, I thought I saw it in your car, like, do you want me to run out and grab it for you? Because I had already put my share of the bill in the table on the check. And she was like, no, like, I know for sure that I left it at my house. Like, I swear on everything, it's in my house. So do you mind just spotting me and I'll pay back later? So obviously I said yes. And later when I asked her like, hey, like, is everything going okay with like the PayPal, like insinuating that like to pay me back and everything, because usually we would like pay each other back through PayPal, she was like, oh, like, what do you mean? And I just wasn't about to push her at that point because like I knew she knew what I meant, but like I just didn't like say anything because I'm just like, oh, like, I guess you just didn't want to pay me back. So fast forward, when I found out that she was stealing from me was when I was on TikTok. But let's just go back a second. I just remembered this. During like the months that I found out that she was stealing from me, which we'll get into later, I was actually starting to notice some of my stuff missing. Like, I thought that I just misplaced it in the laundry because I, like, before, like, me and her had been friends, like, I also noticed some of my stuff missing, and, like, I would find it, like, a couple months later, so I was just like, all right, like, I just lost my favorite sweatshirt, whatever, I'll find it later. And y'all, I'm already at 3 minutes. I'm about to film part 2, so go to part 2 now. Love you guys. Bye.
Oh, y'all, do I have a fucking story for you? I am so heated right now. Like, I am literally so heated. This happened hours ago and I am literally still riding over it. Like, my blood is boiling to the brim of the fucking pot. Get ready with me for bed while I tell you what the hell happened to me at work today, bro. So, as some of you know from my previous videos of me, like, whatever, talking about it, I'm a waitress. I am 17 years old. I'm a 17-year-old waitress. Like, whatever, I'm not perfect, okay, but I do my best. And mind you, I literally started waitressing not even 3 weeks ago. Like, this job is so new to me. Like, I just had not experienced anything like this before, and I've just never experienced people be so rude and so ignorant, like, in my life. Like, I really have, but, like, just not in this environment, you know what I mean? Like, I believe in, like, always just being respectful and being nice to people, especially the people that are making and feeding you your fucking food. Ignore this big gargantuous red spot on my forehead. I just tried to pop a bullseye pimple in the center of my eyebrows. Okay, so I start my shift at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm supposed to be working from 4 to 7. I walk in. I tell the hostess, I'm like, okay, please seat me. Like, I'm trying to make some money on tonight, right? I'm trying to make that hella money. So whatever, she seats me within the next, like, 5 minutes. This is my first table of the night. Your first table always sets up how you feel the rest of the night. If it's a nice table, you have a good night. If it's a mean table, you just feel like shit the entire time. And of course, I had to get this bitchy table. And for everyone who's been asking, I'm going to be listing my skincare products. This is the face wash that I use. You can get it at Target. It's amazing. I love it so much. I usually use it with the exfoliator as well. All of my skincare comes from the same exact brand. I never really venture outside of the brand because I have very sensitive skin. I'm very prone to breakouts. And so I like to keep all of it within the same brand just so that I know that all the ingredients are going to go together and they're not going to, like, have a reaction to each other and mess up my skin. Okay, I just washed my face, and I'm going to be using the Versed Instant Resurfacing Mask. I use this about 2 times a week for a couple minutes, and it's great. Okay, so mind you, as I said, this is my first table of the night. I walk over, I do my thing. Hi, how are you? What can I get you to drink? Literally, I don't even finish my sentence! And she's like, she's like, just like immediately starts like listing off her drinks and like whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm writing them down. They wanted 2 Coca-Colas, and she literally came up with this drink that is not on the menu. I've literally never heard of it in my life. She was like, I want an unsweet tea with peach syrup. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, I have never heard anybody order that. Maybe it's a new drink or something. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, I can do that for you. Whatever. So I go back there and I ask my coworker, I'm like, what is an unsweet tea? Do we have peach syrup, or is this lady just fucking crazy and making shit up in her head? And he's like, yeah, I have no clue what that is. Just put peach tea in the iced unsweet tea and call it a day. And so that's exactly what I did. So whatever, I bring their drinks out to them. I bring them bread. I bring them whatnot. Like, I do all the things. I'm like, okay, what can I get you guys? The one lady is like, I want a cheeseburger with fries. And I'm like, okay, what kind of cheeseburger? Like, look at the menu and tell me what you want off the menu. You can't just tell me that you want a cheeseburger and fries. Go to McDonald's if you want a cheeseburger and fries. You're at a restaurant, order off the fucking menu. So I'm like, okay, I just put her down for the barrel burger. I'm like, all right, barrel burger, whatever. And then the other lady, she orders a shrimp and salmon or some shit, or just salmon some shit. Smoky southern salmon shit. So I put that down, whatever. Her husband orders a steak strip with shrimp, whatever. So I go back, I put their order in, I'm running around, my entire section is full, okay? Literally 5 minutes, 5 minutos after I walk away from their table, my coworker Tommy comes up to me and he's like, hey, your table's asking for you. I'm like, what the fuck could they possibly want? It's been like 8 minutes since I last was at that table. Turns out, these walking watermelon-looking hoes guzzled down their drinks that I gave them in less than 5 minutes. And they're like, can we please get some refills? I'm like, yeah, of course. I'm sorry about that. I take their drinks. I'm like, I knew right then and there that this was going to be a fucking problem. I knew I was going to end up pissed off by the end of this seating. So whatever. I refill their drinks. I take them back. I'm running around. I'm taking orders. I'm doing all this shit. I'm waiting for their food. About 20 minutes go by and their food has not come out yet. And I whatever. I'm back in the back in the kitchen, like doing my thing, trying to like get everything together. Oh, actually, I had just taken their food to their table. It was like maybe 20 minutes. I had just taken their food to their table. My manager comes up to me and he's like, hey, the lady from your table is looking for you. I'm like, what the fuck could she possibly want now? So I walk over to her, I'm like, hey ma'am, like, is there a problem? And she's like, I'm just wondering the reason why I've been sitting here for 45 minutes waiting for my food when your restaurant is basically empty. Mind you, my section is full. I literally am tending to 5 fucking tables. I'm like, I'm sorry, ma'am. I just brought your food to your table. Like, I'm sorry about the wait. Like, is there anything I can do? She's like, no, I'm just wondering. I would need an explanation. Oh, and another thing. It wasn't even like I had told her. Okay, rewind. So I go up to her, I'm like, ma'am, what's the problem? She's like, I'm just wondering an explanation why my food has been on 40 fucking minutes. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I just brought it to your table. I was about to say it. She goes, you just brought it. You just brought it to the table, thank you. No words. So I'm like, I'm sorry, ma'am. Is there anything I can do for you? She's like, I just want to eat my food. Just want to eat my food. I'm like, okay, go sit down and eat your food then. Walk to the table and go eat your food. So whatever. She goes back. She sits down. I walk over there. I'm like, hey, guys, is everything is everything looking okay? Whatever. I bring out the girl's burger and she's like, there's lettuce and tomato on this. And I asked for just cheese. And I was like, oh, I'm really sorry. I don't cook the food. I can take it back for you and take everything off. Like, I'm really sorry about the mix-up. And she's like, okay, thanks. And I'm like, yep, you're welcome. Like, it's literally just attitude, like pure attitude. Like, I don't know what I did. Like, and I know because I didn't do anything. It's literally just the way people are so entitled, the way that they act towards people that are literally serving their food. I am not your slave. I am your waitress. So I take her burger back, I take the lettuce off, I take the tomato off, I bring it out to her. There's a stick that goes through the burger, and on the top was 2 little pickles, like 2 little circle pickles on the top. And I bring it out to her and I'm like, I'm really sorry about the mix-up. She's like, I asked for nothing on my burger. There's pickles on this. And I'm like, I'm really sorry, you can take them off. No, it's contaminated. It's contaminated. I cannot eat this. This is contaminated. Contaminated? It's pickles. Grab the pickles with the fingers that God gave you and put them on the plate. You don't have to eat the pickles. The bun's not contaminated with pickle juice. Like you'll go digging in that booty, but God forbid there's a tomato and some pickles on your damn sandwich. So I'm like, I'm sorry. I'll take your burger back and have them redo your burger. I'll have them put a new bun on it for you. I'm sorry that your burger is contaminated by pickles. So I take it back. I talk to my boss. I'm like, look, dude, I'm about to go off on this lady. You need to go talk to them right now because I am not going to be able to hold my tongue. Oh, and another thing that she did that I forgot, that I can't believe I forgot, when I took the plate back from her to go take the pickles off, I'm like, I'm sorry about that, ma'am. She goes, yeah, whatever. So she quite literally waves at me like I'm her slave, like I'm a dog. Like, okay, yeah, whatever. Am I in an alternate universe where people are just allowed to treat others like this? So I go back and I tell my boss, I'm like, I'm seriously serious right now. You need to go tell those big Oompa Loompa ass hoes that I am not serving them anymore, that they can eat their fucking food and get the hell out of this restaurant because I will not be giving them any more service. He ends up, telling them that and giving them the meal for free so that they literally just sit down and shut the hell up. And, like, that literally wasn't even it. I went over to the table again, and I was like, hey, I'm really sorry for all the mix-ups. Like, I thank you guys for being patient, like, whatever. And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, I didn't say anything. I just walked away at that point because what can you even do? At the end of the day, people are so ignorant, so entitled, so self-centered, and I have to experience that shit every single day at work. Please tip your waitresses. Please be nice to your waitresses. Please be respectful. We literally run the entire restaurants. Please and thank you. Bye, everyone. Have a great night.